lot of times I get people asking me like, what does it take to be successful? And one of the biggest factors that determines whether or not you be successful is how you spend your time. We all get the same 84,600 seconds a day. And the question becomes, what are you doing with yours? What's going on, family? It's your boy, Mr. Phillips. I just had a really interesting experience, so I wanted to share it with you guys. I just arrived here in Boston, and where I arrived at the airport is actually about 45 minutes to an hour away from where I'm actually speaking. So the individuals, they booked me, they set me up with a ride service to bring me to my hotel. But while I was on the ride service today, there was a young lady on there as well who was getting transportation from the airport also. But she happened to be a scientist from Germany, and she's doing some work here in the States. And I just asked her a couple of questions, you know, how are you liking it in the United States? And, you know, how many states have you been to? How are you acclimated to the culture? And different things like that. And she began to explain how one of the things that I guess the program that she was in did to help her acclimate to the culture was they go through like a boot camp of trying to understand, I guess, the American culture to avoid some of the different things, right? And she was just giving some simple examples of some of the things that they talk about. And what I want to talk about with you guys today is culture. And when I talk about culture, I'm talking about many individuals want to do a lot of different things. And I'm one of those individuals, whether you're trying to be a speaker, or you want to be an athlete, you want to be a singer, you want to be a dancer, you want to be an educator, whatever it is that you're trying to do. And one of the things that's very critical to being successful in that endeavor that you're trying to undertake is understanding the culture, right? Understanding the culture. What does it take to be a speaker? What goes into it? What are the do's and the don'ts? Same thing with if you're trying to be an artist. How do you book a show? What should you do on the show? What shouldn't you do? Different things like that. And just understanding the culture, and how when you understand the culture, it can be very beneficial. And when I was talking with her, she was talking about one of the things that they talked about was like the culture of the US, right? And in particular, she gave a silly example, and she said, for example, in America, when people say, hey, how are you doing? We really not asking that question to understand really how are you doing. And we're really asking it, it's really a greeting, just almost like a good morning. Because in reality, when you stop somebody and say, hey, how are you doing? We're really not expecting them to spill their guts and be like, yo, I'm having a horrible day. You know, I got in a car accident. You know, my wife is tripping at the house, or my husband is tripping, or whatever. We're not really expecting that. But what she was saying, that in her home culture, you really only ask people how you're doing if you really care about them, because in actuality, when you ask that question in her home country, you're supposed to give a genuine, honest response. And that was very interesting to me, because it highlighted the fact that wherever you're going, whatever you're trying to accomplish, whether it's entrepreneurship, you know, you're trying to be a better college student, you're trying to be a student athlete, or whatever it is, you got to understand the culture of that thing you're trying to undertake so that you can be successful. And I just thought that was so interesting. You know, they got this quote, it says that when in Rome, do as the Romans do. And what it speaks to is, you know, engaging in the culture, immersing yourself in the experience. And just talking with her for a couple minutes while we're on our journey to our destinations made me realize that. It just highlighted that for me. And I just wanted to share the message with you guys, which is the importance of understanding the culture, y'all, whatever it is that you're trying to get into. So I just wanted to share that message with you guys. As always, I'll see you at the top, because the bottom is too crowded. And don't be afraid to be great. Take care, y'all.